Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Pro Wrestling Power Hour. I'm Jordan, as always, joined by my friend Luke, and we are here today to give you your SummerSlam Power Hour review, I guess.
Yes.
Power Hour review, we'll call these, because I think that just
Nah,
sounds...
it'll still just be Power Hour.
Yeah.
Just keep it simple.
Luke's dealing with the thumbnails here, so I have no idea what he's put up on this thumbnail. Because this show was a tale of two halves, is how I'll put it. A tale of two halves.
I would just say rough.
Yeah.
I mean, just say rough.
I mean, we'll get into it, but man, like, we watched this pay-per-view together. It's the first time that we've in person watched wrestling together, and it wasn't the best one to start with, because it was genuinely a rough watch. For the first half of the card, we just weren't really paying that much attention. Things got better later on, but I think we should go through it match by match and kind of say what we think.
As we do. We'll skip over Big E versus Baron Corbin because I didn't watch it.
However,
you said you checked out a bit.
I checked it out a bit. It was one of those, the way I describe it in a quick kind of review is it was just a fun little thing. Do you know what I mean? It was just one of those fun little things.
This should have been an angle throughout the night. I think that could have been really funny if it was an angle through the night, and then it was. And also,
this could have replaced some of the other pointless things that they had on the main show, where they literally had people come out and then do nothing with them.
A couple of times, yeah, literally. Yeah. But we'll get there. So yeah, Baron Corbin. This little photo of him, and he looks rough, and it's great.
Yeah,
I love him so much at the moment. It's fantastic. Big E obviously won that because reasons, and got his briefcase back. But the Raw Tag Team match, or Tag Team Talk match, I should say, kicked off. So we had RK Bro, versus AJ and Omos, and this wasn't incredible, but it's Randy Orton.
It was fine,
Riddle.
Right? It was fine.
It was good. It was what you'd expect from these people.
Yeah, for sure.
They did a good job, I think.
I'm still not sold on Riddle and Randy Orton though. Like, it does work. It does work, but it's still just a bit weird. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, that's Riddle's tag teams. Like, he did it with Pete Dunne as well. Like, he's very good at these weird tag teams. I wish they hadn't split Riddle and Dunne.
Yeah, I know.
Because I think they were better. But I like this. I think Randy Orton's playing it in a really fun way.
Yeah, for sure.
I fully expect that he'll turn on him at some point.
Properly
turn on him, maybe cave his head in. And that'll lead to Riddle doing something afterwards. But RK Bro are your new tag team champions. And this was, like I said, a decent match.
It was about as good as you could expect from the people in the ring, right? And also from the position they were in on the card, because let's be honest, a first match is always quite tough. It's tough to go first.
Yeah, generally your first match you want to come out with loads of energy and the high pace. And tag team matches are normally quite good for that. But Randy Orton and Randy Orton and Omos aren't exactly the fastest workers or the quickest workers or the most agile workers.
No, because in Randy's case, he's a much more
he's methodical.
Yeah, methodical wrestler. Omos is obviously just a tank of a human being. And neither of those things are bad. They're both actually great and have their parts to play. But yeah, for a first match, it's tough for that match.
Honestly, I probably would have had the Mysterios and the Usos come out first.
Yeah.
Because that had a much higher tempo. But no, not a bad match at all. Orton got the win with an RKO, of course. It wasn't a particularly good one. It was just kind of it was what it was. He went for an RKO. AJ got out of it. They ended up turning around some way. I can't quite remember, but he hit a different RKO instead.
I mean, it shows the fact. This is the point about this whole show, about this SummerSlam this year, is like, let's just emphasize that for a minute. This show was SummerSlam. That kind of like,
didn't feel like it.
It just did not. Something just did not work in this show. It wasn't.
A lot didn't work in this show.
Yeah,
as we are about to talk about.
Man, so much of this just didn't kind of click, I think, for anybody. Even the crowd at times were just absolutely
they didn't care.
dead.
Speaking of Alexa Bliss versus Eva Marie.
Yeah. We literally both turned off in this match. I don't think we were even looking at it.
I was playing with my dog.
Yeah.
I was playing with my dog. I like Alexa Bliss. I think she's done well with what she's been given. But
yeah.
I feel like it should, we should round this out now, I think. Alexa Bliss is much better suited doing other things. And the women's division is a bit sparse for stars at the minute.
And also, Bailey's out, no offense to Eva Marie, but I don't understand why they think she's such a big deal.
I'll flip that. All the offense to Eva Marie. You're shit. She sucks. I don't like. You get rid of Mickie James to bring in Eva Marie. Are you fucking crazy?
Yeah, I know.
Eva Marie is dreadful.
It's almost like they're trying to go back to the Diva days, right? And it's like, no, we want women's wrestlers.
Like she's not even like it's not even like she's a good heel because no one people just don't give a shit.
No.
People do not care, and it's a shame because Piper Niven seems like she's going to turn. I refuse to call her Pokemon name. Fucking stupid. But Piper Niven seems like she's gonna turn and probably squash her, which I'll watch because that'd be fun. That'd be cool to see someone get, just completely destroy Eva Marie.
Yes, yeah,
and it would be cool because it's a big woman that can actually wrestle. That's actually, putting in the effort and holding her own. Tamina's not that good. Nia Jax, we all know, is atrocious.
Yeah.
Piper Niven is what's missing.
Tamina's an odd one for a minute, just as a quick aside. Tamina's an odd one because I think there was a time where she was good.
There was a time when Nia Jax was good, but
but it's weird for Tamina because she was good at a time where she didn't get a chance because she wasn't what they were looking for at the time.
Sure.
So she's one of those wrestlers that, if she had come 10 years later, it might have been very interesting.
Maybe.
I'm with you. Piper Niven.
This match was
going to be interesting to see what they do with her going forward because she could add something to the women's division.
Yeah, she absolutely could. And if it means she takes Eva Marie out of the women's division, I will love her forever.
Yeah.
The high spot of this match, like the spot of this match, was Eva Marie slapping a doll.
Yeah.
And then slapping Alexa Bliss with the doll. It's so bad.
Yeah, I just don't get it.
So bad. Moving on. Sheamus versus Damien Priest for the US title. This was a good match.
Yeah, it was a good match. I enjoyed
this match. Two big dudes, even though I really like Damien Priest because he's a big dude, but he's agile, he's athletic.
Yeah, he is very
like a cruiserweight a lot.
Yeah.
Not quite like cruiserweight, but you get my drift.
The thing is with Damien Priest is he's big enough to do the big men stuff. Yeah. But he's agile enough to do the quick flippy stuff if he needs to.
But they did both in this. They did the they both did the slobber knocker drawn out bits, and then you had the Damien
and Sheamus. Let's be honest, Sheamus is great at that stuff. Awesome. Like I love Sheamus. We were discussing Sheamus, and we both sort of said he's underrated because he has a very specific style, but he does that style and he does his job so well that I think he just gets overlooked sometimes.
Since he came back from his injury, he's been on a good run
for sure. Since they've basically made him Sheamus again, as in the original Sheamus.
Yeah,
he's been cool.
Mind you, I would kill to have the bar back because they were fantastic.
Sure. However, I do want to say about this match, at least for me, I enjoyed all the in-ring stuff of this match. I think it was good. But I still struggled to be invested in it because I just didn't care about the story that was actually happening between these two guys. It's character-wise, neither of them individually interest me enough, and I don't think the chemistry between the characters is that good. even though the match they put on was a good match. So I feel a little bit torn about it, personally.
I mean, you can't like everybody. Priest won and is the new US champion.
Yeah, please get rid of that belt.
I was literally about to say that.
Belt.
I hope they change it because it looks like a fucking toy. Yeah, I quite like this match.
Yeah.
I'm trying to just see if there was anything in between because there was weird segments.
I don't think so. Because the Shinsuke thing was the first weird moment, but I think that came after this. Because it was before the Bianca Belair match.
Mm-hmm. It did. Then we had the match I mentioned earlier, the Smackdown tag team match with the Mysterios and the Usos, and this was awesome.
Yeah, it was.
This was a very good match. Usos obviously go over.
Mm-hmm. I do wonder. I was thinking after this match, I do wonder who is going to be the team that topples them, because right now I don't know that there is one. You think so?
No, I just want it to be them because I really like the Dirty Dogs. Alpha Academy would be sick. I like Alpha Academy a lot.
That would be cool. Yeah. That would be
cool. I don't want Street Profits because I think now could be a good time to maybe do the break angle.
Yeah, I wondered that.
It feels like they're not doing anything with them anymore.
Yeah. Or you turn them heel as well.
I would turn Montez heel.
Yeah.
I don't think Angelo is interesting enough to be a heel, but who knows? Maybe he is. Maybe that's what.
Well, that's the weird thing, right? Some of these wrestlers, once they switch, that's when they become interesting. Mm-hmm. Look at Roman Reigns, for Christ's sake.
I mean, yeah, but we knew that.
Yeah, that's true.
We don't know that about Angelo Dawkins because until Montez Ford came along, he was doing a whole hell of a lot of nothing.
True, very true.
Very long. He was in NXT super early.
Yeah, he was
in the early years. But no, this was a very good match. Ray took the pin on one of the Usos.
I mean, to be fair, both of these teams are good, and all four men are still very good. They are.
I feel like this is coming very close to the Mysterio splitting up.
I mean, we were talking about Dominic, right? And we said that maybe he's actually held back a little bit by Ray because they could do some interesting things with him without Ray.
It's tricky. We haven't seen him on his own enough against enough different people to judge if he's actually that good. Yeah, he's solid enough, but is he?
Is he there?
Is he going to win something? Yeah. Is he going to do something by himself? But I would be interested in seeing that, or even like just tagging with someone else. I suggested like Humberto Carrillo
Ray against Dominic. That would be interesting.
I don't honestly know if I want to see that.
Really?
Yeah, really? I don't know if I care enough.
I think there's a way that they could make you care.
The only way I'd be interested is if Ray was the heel.
Oh, interesting.
Because I really want to see Ray as a heel. He hasn't been a heel in like 30 years.
That's true.
But they're not going to do that.
I am interested to see what they do with them going forward, though, because like you're saying, I wonder whether for them we are getting close to the point of them breaking up, because they can't be a team forever. And they've been a team pretty much for Dominic's whole run. As you know, as long as Ray's been fit, they've been a team. And I just think that with someone of Dominic's age, you kind of probably want him to be on his own sooner than later, so that you can start building his individual character and making him his own thing, because right now he is just Dominic Mysterio, right? Like there's nothing character-wise that is really special about him. There's nothing that makes him his own character. He is just the son of Rey Mysterio, and that's not a bad thing, and that works initially for a lot of wrestlers. You know, even Charlotte initially, when she was first around, was the daughter of Ric Flair, and that was where her character started, but she built it from there. And Ray hasn't, you know, Ray with Dominic hasn't allowed Dominic to do that yet. So I wonder whether he needs to be on his own to do that. That'd be interesting to see in the future. But yeah, what else have we got, Luke?
So Shinsuke did things.
Yeah, this was really fucking odd.
So
'Cause
I
even
genuinely
you were like, did we miss a match?
I went to the toilet real quick because he was coming down, and I'm like, all right, cool, it's gonna be US IC title match. So Shinsuke's coming down to the ring, and then by the time I've come back from the toilet, and I was only gone for like 2 seconds, they moved on to the women's.
Yeah.
And I was genuinely confused. I legit went back in the stream
Yeah.
to see what the fuck happened. If it skipped over, did something get cut? Was there an
And they
obvious cut or something like
literally
that?
just brought out Shinsuke
Yeah,
as
no,
basically
he
a
just-
musical act.
Yeah, he just comes down. Boogs is doing his thing. I'm like, yeah, okay, Boogs, you do your thing. And that was it. Shinsuke didn't do it. He just came down and was
Yeah.
weird.
What I said to you, it was almost like they went, we need you on the show because you are one of our champions, but we don't have anything for you.
Yeah, they framed it as like a celebration of him winning. It's like, that was like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And also,
What
why?
they should have done is
Save it for SmackDown.
even if it was literally like a 5-minute thing, right? What they should have done is he should have come down. It should have been an open challenge, and even if he just squashes someone,
No,
that would have added to it.
no, because the open challenge should have been for the women's title.
Ah, of course.
So I'm going to rant about this.
Yeah,
not
I think we
happy
both are. I think we both
SmackDown
are.
Women's Championship. So it's supposed to be Bianca Belair versus Sasha Banks. However, WWE have known for a week that Sasha Banks was not going to make it. So instead of telling us that, they lied and kept promoting that Sasha Banks was going to be there, just like they did with Charlotte Flair a couple of weeks ago, when she wasn't going to be wherever it was she was supposed to be. And she was actually at AAA, which is where she was planning to be. So the Sasha Banks gets down to the ring. She does her stuff. She's, she does her skipping and her hair stuff and all that. And then we get the ring announcer saying that Sasha Banks isn't here. And everyone's like, what? And then they bring out Carmella to have the match.
And they let Carmella get all the way to the ring.
I'm like, okay, I like Carmella. This is fine. I don't mind Carmella at all. She's got cool shoes. And then Carmella's in the ring. They're about to start the match. And then Becky Lynch's music hits. And she comes out. And I'm like, okay, cool. We're going to get a triple threat. It's a bit sloppy. I would have probably just had Becky Lynch come out instead. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Triple threat, cool. Dope. Triple threats are normally pretty good in in wrestling in general. And then Becky Lynch beats the shit out of Carmella, leaves her outside, gets in the ring and is face to face with Bianca. And I'm just like, so is Carmella not in this match then? Mm-hmm. Nope, she fucks off. She's gone. And then Becky Lynch is like, how about we have a fight? Because she's just shameless and female.
Yeah.
At this point. And then, stupidly, Bianca's like, yeah, all right. And then literally, they
like
shake
2
hands.
seconds.
They shake hands. Becky socks her in the mouth while they're shaking hands, like a heel.
Yeah.
Hits her with a rock bottom. And Bianca's title reign and her push and everything they've worked on with her for the last year or so will get flushed down the toilet.
Okay.
Big old fuck you to Bianca Belair there.
So now I'm gonna
Bullshit.
say my opinion on this situation, because mine's a little bit different than yours, but we're not that far apart. I have no issue with Becky coming back.
No.
I think that's cool. I think it is
it could have been cool.
thing,
They fucked it.
but the way they did it was done.
Absolutely.
I think you could have even used Carmella, but have Carmella come out and be beat to shit on the top of the ramp, not let her get all the way to the ring.
I still think that's just overcomplicating it.
Yeah.
Just be like, hey,
open challenge.
Sasha Banks is not here.
Yeah.
And you do that at the top of the fucking show. You have
because
whoever's
to be
running.
honest,
you have Sonya Deville come out and be like, yeah, I'm running the women's division, apparently.
Yeah.
Becky Lynch is not Becky Lynch. Sonya Deville. No, she's Sonya Deville. Sasha Banks is not here. So Bianca Belair will be defending in an open challenge.
Yeah.
Do that at the top of the show. People start building their hype. Then bring out Becky Lynch. People lose their fucking minds.
Yeah.
Instead, people will just fucking confused.
And do you know what the funny thing is? This is why I don't personally have an issue with the squash part, is because if it was done the right way, that would have worked. But because they fucked up the way they did it, that's why it was done.
The problem with doing the squash is they don't have enough talent
to literally kill one of their talents and then have to build them back up again, right?
Yeah, they don't have enough talent to be squashing them because they just waste it all.
Yeah.
Especially over 2 rosters.
I guess to me, it's the thing of like, if they're using the squash as a way to make Becky heel.
But they're not.
It kind of makes sense.
No, they're not though.
Do you not think so?
No.
I've heard a lot of theories that she's going to be heel.
Yeah, but theories are theories. She might be heel afterwards. They might make her heel.
Yeah.
But this wasn't the plan to make her heel here.
Interesting.
Why would you make her heel on Carmella? Carmella is a heel.
No, but you use Belair to make her heel, right?
Nah. No, you do not. No, you do not shit away a year of work just like that.
I don't know. WWE
Bullshit.
do. WWE
No.
do.
I know, but you don't. Like they have just they completely fucked it.
Yeah.
Completely. They've ruined Bianca Belair and her title run. They've ruined Becky Lynch's return, which should have been huge. Instead, people were just like, what the fuck's going on? Like literally, you can see in the audience, people are just confused.
Yeah.
When Becky wins, they're like,
but also I kind of, what I don't understand about that, I guess, is there was a part of me where I'm like, are people confused because they genuinely didn't expect it?
No, I think they're confused because the whole angle was just shit and it was just fucked and butchered.
Yeah.
They just tried to overcomplicate it.
But how can you be so confused to the point that you don't cheer for someone that you want to cheer for? Like,
because it was a bad angle.
Yeah. Yeah.
They wanted to cheer for both of them, and she just straight up destroyed them. And the fans they're a lot of them are going to be hardcore fans like us. They're not stupid.
That's true.
They're going to sit there and be like, "Why the fuck did they do that? That's dumb."
And I think even if you
were going to do, in the audience.
And also even if you were going to do the heel thing straight away, right? Which they could have done, a full match would have done that probably more effectively.
Yeah.
Because now it makes her, if they are going the heel angle, it makes her now.
I wonder if they've got a choice. I'd be very curious to see what like her reaction gets on SmackDown.
Yeah, maybe
because people really like Bianca Belair.
Yeah, I do think returning somebody against a face suggests that you're making them heel. To me,
not necessarily. Yeah, but I don't think any of this was planned.
Interesting.
I mean, I don't think anything WWE do at the moment is planned. It's all just by the seat of their pants because they're fucking canceling shit constantly. And like they've had more than a week to prepare for this. They've known that Sasha wasn't going to be there.
Yeah.
Like just like
it's an odd one.
Come out in front of it and be like, sick. Bianca's Sasha's not going to be there.
But do you think that's a massive part of it then? Do you think it is because fans who maybe don't know as much as us, and there are, because I had actually already heard that Sasha wasn't going to be there anyway, because there were a few reports that came out that the match was off a little while before SummerSlam.
Yeah, it was about a week or so.
However, I think that not all, even hardcore fans, not all hardcore fans are as into this kind of information as us, right? And I wonder whether for the people at the pay-per-view, maybe that's part of it, that in their heads they had built up, no, we're getting the Sasha Banks versus Belair match and that's what we want, so nothing else is going to be good enough, kind of thing.
And that's WWE's fault.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. If they came out either at the top of the show or a week before
and said
that Sasha is not going to be there,
then the expectation would have been different, right?
Make it an open challenge.
Yeah.
Maybe even have Carmella come out. Or, Carmella's music
if you get ahead of it, even this whole situation, the way they did it is different, right?
It's really not hard.
Yeah.
Like, even if you do it your way, have Carmella's music hit, but she just doesn't come out.
Yeah.
And then like a cameraman finds her knocked out backstage, and then Becky comes out.
And if you're already ahead of that, the reaction to that situation is totally different, right?
Yeah.
Which is, I don't know.
They completely fucked this in every way, shape, or form. They fucked over Carmella, they fuck over Bianca, and they fuck over Becky. Yeah. All three come out of this looking fucking stupid. Even Becky.
Yeah.
And that women's title means fuck all. Yeah. Just means nothing now. Like, they've completely fucked every aspect of it. Like, they're gonna have to work so hard to build this back up. Yeah. And the easiest way to do it is to collapse it all into one, because they're getting rid of so many people now. They've got
especially in their women's division.
Especially in the women's tag team division, there's no teams. There's none. They're talking about bringing the Bellas back.
Yeah, I know.
They've got no one. But this was the absolute travesty.
Yeah. However, we do have to move on because there's still many more things to talk about.
Oh, we've got more to rant about. Oh, God.
Go on.
Drew McIntyre versus Jinder Mahal.
Couldn't care less about this match.
Why was this on pay-per-view?
I don't know.
Why was this on SummerSlam?
This, to me...
This is a Raw match.
Even if you're going to have it on pay-per-view, this felt like a pre-show match.
Jinder Mahal should never be on a pay-per-view.
No. Certainly when the storyline is the way that it is.
Jinder Mahal should never be on pay-per-view. It's impossible to have a good story with him. He's terrible in every way, shape, or form. Like, there's been no improvement. He's bigger. That's it. That's all that's changed. He's bigger. He hasn't improved in any way, shape, or form. He's boring. He's terrible at promos. He's basic in the ring.
Yeah.
It's so boring. Why are we doing this?
And also, the other thing is,
I'd rather Heath Slater was fighting Drew McIntyre. Yeah, that would be better.
Well, this is the other thing. This is what I was going to say. Even with Jinder, if you take out what you think of Jinder himself, there is actually a cool story they could have done between these two.
Sure.
But by making the story what it was, they really fucked it up.
They fucked up by thinking Jinder would be good to tell a story with.
Yeah.
He just isn't. His spot, he is good in that mid-card heel. He's good there. I liked him as the US champion.
Yeah.
I thought that was a good spot for him.
So
this is dead.
So let me ask you a question then. If you like him in that mid-card, kind of top of the mid-card sort of spot, why does he not work when no belt's involved? Because this is basically a mid-card match.
Because they're trying to tell a story.
Even though it's McIntyre, it's basically a mid-card match, right?
They're trying to tell a story, and it's shit.
Yeah.
Drew McIntyre is not the sort of wrestler that is going to carry another wrestler. Drew McIntyre is very good, but he's not AJ Styles. He's not someone like that who's going to carry another wrestler.
Yeah.
Jinder is good when he's carried by somewhere else. His best match was against AJ Styles because AJ Styles is that good.
Yeah.
Because Jinder is good. Of all the people being released, why does Jinder Mahal still have a job in WWE? They're getting rid of the wrong people.
I assume that he's on less money, but
I fucking hope so. If they're paying him a lot of money, that'd be funny.
It's funny because Jinder is one of those, and I actually said it to you kind of tongue in cheek yesterday when we were watching this. I do wonder with Jinder whether he would be one of those odd wrestlers where if he ever went somewhere else and could just do what he wanted, would it be totally different? Because
it would, because he wouldn't get a job.
He
wouldn't get a job. I mean, when he left WWE last time, where did he go?
But there was really nowhere to go last time.
Yeah, there were. You could go to Impact. You could have gone to Ring of Honor. There were places. There were.
I feel like back then, no one was going to go to Impact though, because they weren't even paying their wrestlers back then.
I mean, that's probably how much you should be paying Jinder.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you're overly harsh on Jinder. Like
I'm sick of seeing him. He's boring.
Yeah,
his spot is main event. He's enhancement talent.
But boring doesn't mean bad.
No. But he is. He's boring. He's not good at promos. He's not good at wrestling.
Yeah.
What does he offer? He was the worst part of 3MB.
Yeah, true.
And that says something. Heath Slater was better. Heath Slater has got better character, better wrestler, better in every way, shape, or form. I would much rather this was.
But I suppose that's my thing. I suppose that's what I'm saying though, is character can make a hell of a difference, right?
He doesn't have a character.
No, but
he's not good at character. They tried it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
They've tried it. They tried it in 3MB. They tried it when they put the title on him. Which still baffles me to this day.
Yeah,
it's like
he sort of doesn't have the charisma to do the character stuff, right?
And then
on the other side of it,
dude.
like you're saying, he's not good enough in the ring to be interesting.
Yeah, he's just a big dude. He's a jobber.
Yeah.
This match went 4 minutes, maybe.
He's almost like a jobber that now and again will win a couple of matches.
When's the last time he won a match?
I mean, I feel like I mean, the fact that the guy literally won the WWE title is,
a travesty.
Yeah.
An absolute travesty.
But then I also get why they did it from a business perspective.
I would have if they turned him face.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
If you want to appeal to a market,
you don't have it be a heel.
You don't have their guy as a heel.
However, Khali appealed to that market when he was a heel, even when he was a heel.
Khali appealed to that market before then, though.
That's true.
He was massive before he got to WWE. I mean, he's massive anyway because he's big.
Yeah.
Like, he was massive from New Japan days and stuff like that. He's their Hulk Hogan.
That's true.
So by that point, it didn't matter because people loved him and it was interesting for them to see him in a different light.
And also
Jinder Mahal.
Let's be
Indian
real.
market don't even like Jinder Mahal.
He's Canadian.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well,
Speaking of, quick tangent.
Go on.
Santino Marella's Canadian.
Yeah, I know.
And he sounds nothing like he does.
No, I know.
I watched the interview with him yesterday. My mind.
But that shows how good he is at character, right? Because he did that well.
Well, he can't wrestle anymore because of his neck, but that would have been a better match.
Yeah, apparently he almost did come back at one point.
It would have been like a Rumble appearance.
Do you know what though? Santino, as a quick aside, as we got onto him, Santino is a character that I would like to still see around wrestling, even if he couldn't wrestle anymore. Because the character
he's training wrestlers now.
Is he?
Yeah. He's got like dojos and stuff like that. He does like is it judo? I think
that's really cool.
I can't remember.
I'll never forget his first ever appearance in wrestling.
Yeah, he won the IC title.
Yeah, love that stuff, man. Love it.
We had a triple threat. Told you they were good for the Raw Women's Championship. This was actually good.
Charlotte, it was good.
Nikki
and I think this was actually better than we expected it to be because we were
so it wasn't better than I expected it to be. I'm just bored of Nikki because I think they're just doing nothing with her. You can tell that Vince just finds it funny.
The character doesn't work the way Nikki wants it to work because they're not using her the right way.
Well, I mean, to be fair, we don't know. It was all her invention, as we know.
Yeah,
maybe she's perfectly happy with it, but
that's true.
I preferred I preferred Crazy Nikki. She was so much fun.
Yeah,
like her match with Asuka was great.
However, I'm never like I said to you, I'm never going to give wrestlers too much stick for doing something they want to do that I'm then not interested in, because at the end of the day, you in any creative field, you're going to have that sometimes where you have an idea and you want to do something, but it just doesn't translate.
But normally if it's bad, it doesn't get shoved down your throat.
Yeah, of course. It's that thing of like, it's like I said to you yesterday that
I've said it a couple of times. It reminds me of Super Eric.
Yeah.
Just not as fun.
But it's like I said, I just don't think personally, for me at least, that I can complain about wrestlers not having the freedom to do what they want to do if I then complain when they're sort of given that freedom and it doesn't work.
It's a balance though, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're gonna have stuff like this and you kind of just have to
you've got to take the good with the bad, right?
Yeah, and you can moan about the bad. That's why we do this.
For sure.
I like the way it opened and immediately both Charlotte both of them, Charlotte and Ripley, were just get out. They just turned around to her and was like, get out of the ring. Because you don't belong here. I thought it was really funny. And they just treated her like that the whole match. They throw her out of the way so those two could fight. Because this probably would have been a better match if it was just those two fighting. Because they're great. It was a fun match.
I mean, it was still a good match overall.
It was a fun match.
Charlotte did the spot off the top rope to the outside.
Yeah, twisting moonsault was beautiful. Beautiful, even though she nearly killed Nikki. It was like her head was.
Yeah, I know.
Squished. She was okay though. She's okay. But yeah, Flair won in the end. 14-time champion, I think now.
And it kind of makes sense. I actually think she's better when she's champion than when she isn't champion. Personally,
sometimes maybe we'll see. Oh no, 12
times.
12 times, because I don't think they count the NXT title.
Interesting.
Stupid, because that would be 14.
I do want to say, I think that this was the match where the show started to get better.
This is where it started to get good. Yeah, it started every now and again with the tag matches, and then it died with the SmackDown match and Jinder back to back.
Yeah,
that was awful. I'm trying to see, because they bought out.
Because it actually took the crowd a little while to get into this match, right? Into the women's triple threat.
Yeah, because
the crowd just didn't care after the two previous matches.
Yeah. But from here, it was. Well, I mean, there's only 3 matches left after this anyway. So,
but they did well. Those 3 matches. Let's get to them because they did well. But there was a part where they brought out 2 Olympians.
Yeah, they brought out 2 Olympians. A woman whose name I can't remember.
And Gable Stevenson. And I was fully expecting that this was going to be some kind of angle where he takes someone out. Yeah,
because
but I also want to add, this was so fucking weird because it looked like Greg Hamilton had just been pulled into the ring and he had no idea what was going on.
I honestly wouldn't be surprised if this was very last minute, because he didn't even have his medal with him.
Yeah, I know, but
no one looked prepared for this.
I wish that I could show you people what Greg Hamilton looked like, because we
literally looked like
if something was wrong with him.
It was like a cartoon where they've been pushed onto a stage and thrown a microphone. Like, he was literally like, okay, people are coming down. It was weird. It looked like it was going to set up some kind of angle where Stevenson
and they literally came to the ring. We're kind of moving around for a minute and then went. Yeah.
And the dumb thing was, they didn't even talk about Gable Stevenson.
No, they didn't actually. They were concentrating.
The camera
more
was
on the female, right?
Woman, yeah, and like he was just in the background. So it took us a minute to actually realize it was Gable Stevenson.
Yeah.
Because the commentators talked over the announcement as well. So we didn't even hear who he announced. And he was just in the background.
Yeah.
I was honestly like, is that her bouncer?
Whereas, like I said to you, I kind of think that if what they wanted to do was just show them to get, because they do that sometimes, and I think that's fine. But if they wanted to just do that, they should have just had them in the front row. Absolutely. They should have just done the front row spot that they always do.
Yeah.
It would have been fine.
Absolutely.
It would have been like, oh, cool, these guys are here. That's cool.
Yeah. Because we knew he was going to be there. We assumed it would be in the crowd, and that would have been a cooler thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
They did the
like, why
thing
not?
As well, so.
Why not have him in the crowd and have somebody just get in his face, even if he doesn't do anything physical? Just have someone kind of get into his face and say
who should have done it?
Who?
Gable.
Oh wow!
Think about it.
Cool. Yeah,
cool. Gable, both Olympians.
That would have been cool. Yeah,
because I love Gable. Let's give him some time to do something.
Yeah.
Anywho, let's talk about the best match of the night. Edge versus Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
Was there any doubt?
No, there was no doubt. We both said before the match even started, this is the match. Like we both.
I mean,
because these, you know,
they gelled perfectly together.
And it's not even that. We were actually saying it's weird, the similarities between the two in terms of their stories, in terms of their, you know, just like the style, like everything just kind of seemed to come together.
There's really odd parallels between the two.
For this,
they've played off it fantastically, and it makes sense.
Yeah,
a story that makes sense in WWE.
However,
this is the only story of the entire night that actually made any sense.
And the one thing I would say The one thing I would say though is this match, I feel like the result was quite predictable.
Yes, that
Um,
is the only thing against it.
just because I said to you, there's no way Edge loses this because he's lost his last 2 pay-per-view matches. I was like, there's no way he loses again.
It was obvious anyway because he was going against Seth Rollins. And
Yeah.
wins and losses specifically don't mean anything to Rollins. You cannot. He's pretty much untouchable at this point.
That's true. That's
like
true.
You could put him in any kind of position you want to.
Yeah.
And
I
he
quite
will
enjoyed
thrive.
I quite enjoyed the Edge entrance because they switched it up a little bit with the starting with the Brood kind of entrance.
Hold on. Do not disrespect Seth Rollins like that.
That was just weird. I thought he was somebody else.
He came out and his gear again. He's killing it with his gear. His gear is beautiful.
Yeah, but we both did sort of
wonderful.
think, who is that?
No. So he came out with this jacket on, and I was like, that looks a lot like Jay White because Jay White wears a similar kind of jacket, similar kind of hairstyle, beard, and that. I knew it was Seth Rollins.
Yeah,
I fully knew it was Seth Rollins. I was being funny. It was a beautiful.
But it was one of those things where, like, I was like, I liked the gear, but at the same time, I looked at the jacket and I was like, really? It
was a great jacket.
We're pushing it this far. We're pushing the gear this far,
bro. Yeah, it's Seth Rollins. He's the drip king.
Oh wow!
So Morrison's going to turn face soon.
Yeah, for sure.
Seth Rollins has to beat him and be the undisputed drip king.
But why is this even a story that's happening? Because
no, it's not a story. It's a character. It's his character. That's what he is at the moment. He is the drip king. And let me be honest, I'm buying it because some of the suits, they look ridiculous.
Yeah.
But he pulls them off.
Yeah.
And the gear, he pulls it off.
Is the fact that they can look that crazy and they look good in it, right?
It works. It's sick. Yeah. It's awesome, and you could tell he's really enjoying it as well.
For sure.
It's great. I was gutted when they stopped the Messiah stuff because I really like that. But this is great.
Yeah, and it does work. It does. But
Absolutely.
yeah, the edge entrance.
He came out in the Brood. He looked so fucking cool.
He did look cool. He had the glasses.
I'm a little bit gutted that he didn't go full old school and have like old school gear as well. But
yeah. However, I appreciated the little nuances. Like there was something about drinking blood on his jacket, which was cool. The gear. He just looked cool. He looked like a badass, and Edge always looks like a badass. He's pulling that
face as well. He's pulling that face. He does.
Yeah, and I actually think this could be an interesting character moment for Edge. Like if they are,
I don't think he goes further.
No, but if they're doing a thing with him. Because at one point you sort of said,
I speculated because it seems like he's kind of maybe doing like a greatest hits kind of thing.
Yeah, because he's had his thing with Randy, right?
He had his thing with Randy. He had the title match. He had the reunion with Christian in the Rumble. He's done the Brood now. Does kind of feel like he's having his greatest hits run, which normally leads to the retirement.
Yeah.
So I wondered if that's what this is because he's already in year 2 of 3.
Yeah.
So I do wonder what the plan is, sort of thing.
For sure. But yeah, no, I was in, and as you know, Edge is one of my favorites of all time.
To be clear, he's up there for me as well. I love Edge.
So
I think he's one of the best.
So I'm never going to. Edge is in this weird space where he doesn't ever need to win. But I'm also never going to be sad about him winning.
Well, no, like I said when we were talking about it, the thing is, if he lost this,
the next
feud he goes into,
it'd be like, he's going to lose again. Yeah,
exactly. He's not going to be a believable threat.
It is interesting to see where he goes next, though. Like having won this match.
Yeah, I'm curious because I don't think he's going to go anywhere near. I think it is just going to be what I said.
I don't think he goes near Reigns again. I don't
think he goes near like a title run. I think it is just going to be he's going to tell interesting stories because this story has been told really well.
I think the only way that he'd potentially go near a title again
is if someone gets injured.
Is either if somebody gets injured or if he does decide to stay longer. If he decides, I do want to carry on doing this.
Or he angles it by being title versus career.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's
that
how
could
he
be a
actually
thing.
goes out.
That could
So
be a thing.
there was not fiber in my being that still thinks he's going to win either title.
No,
I do not believe he's going to.
I don't.
I wouldn't begrudge him if he did.
Yeah, that's kind of.
I do not think he's.
This is what I mean about Edge. Is for a legend, he's in one of the weird positions where he might be the only legend that's come back that nobody would be disappointed if he won the belt. But he also doesn't need to win it.
I would be a bit disappointed.
Really?
Yeah, because he doesn't need it. There are people, and there are just so many other people that it makes more sense for.
Yeah,
Biggie, for instance.
That's true.
And it just goes back to the same problem that WWE have, going back to the same people.
Yeah, that's true.
They need fresh blood. They need new people at the top. Roman's great. Bobby is great.
I mean, we say that, and then over in AEW, we're marking out because of CM Punk.
Yeah, but that's different.
Is it though? Is it really that different?
It's very different. Very different.
Why? Both men have unfinished business in the industry.
Yeah, but AEW have been around for 2 years, so they couldn't possibly keep going back to the same person year after year after year after year.
That's true. And
it's
also
a very different situation.
And also a big legend over there potentially winning the belt at some point can still help them, right?
Well, and it's different. It's CM Punk, who's been away for so long because he chose to.
Yeah.
This wasn't he was injured. This was, no, I'm done. I'm not doing it. And
True.
It was believed that he was never going to come back. We all believed him.
Yeah.
So it is different.
Yeah. No, for sure. I think this is the thing. I guess what I was trying to say about Edge is I think he's kind of hit this weird in-between spot where he's proven that he can still go, so people are actually happy for him to be around. Whereas initially, I think people were a bit like, do we really need him? Like, it was cool in the Rumble, and it was...
Yeah, when he came back in the first Rumble,
him?
It was great. When he won the second Rumble, it was very mixed. It was, there were a lot of people in your camp who were very happy with it. Yeah. There were a lot of people in my camp who were like, someone else should have won that Rumble.
I think it's because people assumed he was going to win the belt, right? People kind of assumed.
No.
Don't you think so?
No, I think it was because Cesaro, Big E, Daniel Bryan, there were a bunch of other people who should have been way further in that line. Yeah,
that's true. Well, it's like you've said previously on our AEW Power Hours, which are actually out right now. Check out the latest one, where we react to CM Punk's return. But it's like you've said about how these people who come back to wrestling, you don't actually have an issue with them winning the belt as long as they earn it and it makes sense. As long as it makes sense.
If Goldberg comes back.
For sure.
Goldberg, I don't want Goldberg anywhere near title matches.
No, I mean, we'll get to Goldberg later.
It's not what I would use him for.
But yeah, for me, Seth Rollins and Edge.
Honestly, in this match, Edge surprised me because each match he's getting a bit more daring. You're seeing him come out of his shell a bit more. So you're seeing him hit top rope.
He's almost getting closer. He's almost getting closer to peak Edge again, right? And like,
I don't know if I would get that far, but yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah,
it's that thing of like, it's like you said. I think the first couple of matches, he was maybe a bit wary of, I need to be safe and I need to kind of.
Yeah, that's why he's put against Randy.
Yeah. Whereas now it's like, okay, I mean, to be fair, this.
That being said, he has gone up against the safest people.
That's true.
Like, maybe Cesaro's next because Cesaro is super safe, and that's not a negative. Like, if you're a safe wrestler, you're a good.
That's a good thing. Yeah, that's a good thing.
Because, like, I mean, other than that buckle
bomb, I wonder whether for his next group of feuds, whether they might move him over to Raw again.
Maybe
because
maybe he'll get that NXT run that he wants.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Because he talked about that, but it depends if anyone's still in NXT.
Imagine if we get like, oh man, there's so many matches he could have in NXT.
Yeah. Edge comes out, he's just cutting a promo about, the recent months, stuff like that, and he gets interrupted by Adam Cole, baby.
Oh wow, that would be cool.
The only problem would, well, actually, no, Adam Cole could lose. Adam Cole could lose, but he shouldn't.
Yeah,
he's brand new to that. But this
and
this
also,
was
actually, Edge losing to Adam Cole wouldn't be a bad thing because it doesn't. Edge is in this weird place where losses don't hurt him that much as long as they're not in succession over and over again. But a win for Adam Cole against someone like Edge would be a huge thing, and it would set him up as a big player.
Yeah, as it should. I think he should debut in Money in the Bank, but that's
for sure.
Away.
For sure.
Overall, I think this was the match of the night. The storytelling, the psychology, the match.
It's weird because I do think it was match of the night overall. It wasn't necessarily the match I had the most fun with though. Which is, I'll get to it in a minute. I actually think there was a match that for what they were trying to do and for what they needed to do was kind of more well put together. And it's not that the actual match itself was better, but what they were doing in the circumstances was fun and kind of surprised me more. Like with this one, I knew it was going to be good. Do you know what I mean?
Would that be Bobby Lashley versus Goldberg?
Yes, it would be.
Well, good, because that's the next match. So I think you're insane because I can see where it's going a mile off and I do not like it one bit.
I mean, I can, but what I'm saying is going into this match, I wasn't necessarily expecting what we got.
I mean, it was two big dudes beating the shit out of each other and just like trying to one up each other.
Yeah.
And it was fun. It was a fun match. I give him that. I can just see where it's going and I don't want it to go there.
Yeah, because we both said after, right? It looks like Goldberg's winning that belt.
Yeah, he probably is. So he lost this match because they had to do a referee stoppage because
MVP hit Goldberg in the back of the leg.
MVP hit Goldberg in the back of the leg, and then Biggie just kept going after that leg because him hitting him. Oh, that's me thinking way ahead. Bobby. Oh, sorry, we skipped over the terrible John Morrison and Miz bit.
Oh yeah. However, it was saved by Xavier Woods.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't saved by Xavier Woods. His outfit was cool. It wasn't saved, but even he, in all of his wonderful wisdom and incredible ability, could not save this. It was atrocious.
And do you know what the worst thing is?
Horrible.
This was pretty bad, and it was still the best weird moment they had of the night. It was better than the Shinsuke thing. It was better than the random Olympians thing. They had these weird little moments to break up the show.
I wouldn't categorize anything as the best of. It's all crap.
Yeah,
it was all horrendous. It was basically they were trying to be funny, and it didn't work.
No,
and it was all over a super soaker. However,
I've got a question for you.
Was dressed up as Scott Hall, and it was dope.
I have a question for you about Miz and Morrison. Why? Because let's be real, what they're doing now is what they did years ago. Why is it that when they did this years ago, it was funny, but it's not funny now?
Watch the same comedy skit 100 times.
Yeah.
It will not be funny again.
Interesting.
If you hear the same joke over and over and over again, it's not funny.
But it's not really the same joke,
it's
right?
The same bullshit.
Yeah.
It's the
same method of delivery.
It's all the same bullshit. The Miz hasn't been interested in maybe 3 years now. He's on the worst run of his career.
Yeah.
This stuff, everything he's doing is horrendous.
Yeah.
Like it is horrible. Miz and Morrison need to break up and be as far away. I do not even want to see a match between the two. I want them to just fuck off in complete opposite directions. I think they are horrendous together. It was fine for like the first month or two when they came back. I didn't mind them winning tag titles, but then it got long in the tooth.
Yeah.
And then it just got boring. And it's the same stupid, like, why is it WWE comedy has to be, let's take this cool superstar and make him fucking stupid.
Yeah, I know.
Like the dumbest person he could possibly
The comedy
be.
in
And they've done the same with
WWE
the
is
Miz.
about being stupid, right?
Like they were both in the ring, like, oh yeah, he's got the super soaker. I don't have.
Why
the
didn't
super
they just
soaker.
smack
I
him
thought
in
you
the
had
head?
The super soaker. Like, who cares about the fucking super soaker? Just fuck off.
Yeah.
It's so bad. You pay money to see this shit.
Yeah,
And
I know.
It sucks.
And the thing that makes it worse is when you realize how good these guys are individually when they let them be as good as they can be. Like,
sure.
Like, you know, Morrison is a
his
great
last
wrestler.
run in WWE was great. He should have kept going and won something, but
Yeah.
they let him go, and he went on and did other cool things in every other promotion that he ever wrestled at.
And Miz, you love him or hate him, he does his job very, very well.
I love him and hate him.
Yeah.
I hate him at the minute because he's shit. He's crap at the minute. And he, like I said, he has been for 2-3 years. He has not been good for a long while. And that's why people didn't like him winning the WWE title, even if it meant Bobby Lashley got it.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
But I'm sick of talking about them. Let's talk about this fun match.
Yes.
And Xavier Woods' outfit.
Yes. Yeah,
because
that was cool.
He was Razor Ramon, and it was sick. And I was waiting for Kofi to come out as Kevin Nash.
And he didn't, unfortunately.
Wait, what was Biggie wearing similar gear? Did you see?
I don't think so, from what I can gather. But
that would have been cool if because they got a new NWO style shirt out.
Because I think the thing is, Biggie kind of does his own thing, right? Even though he is. No, he
still wears New Day gear.
Does he? A couple of times I thought he was kind of wearing his own thing.
It's kind of his own thing, but it's still New Day gear. He's still got New Day written like on the back of his jackets and stuff like that, on his boots and bits like that.
Anyway, let's get to.
So yeah, it was fun. It wasn't. The longer this went on, the worse Goldberg looked.
Yeah.
Which they kind of played into.
That was kind of the point, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but it's also not necessarily a good thing. Like it was a fun enough match. Mm-hmm. This should have been it though. I don't want to see a second one.
No, I get that.
I don't want to see this again. So yeah, Goldberg had a bad leg and he couldn't keep going. He couldn't stand up, which the referee called.
And Bobby attacked him with the chair.
And
then, of course,
his stupid son decided to get involved. Yeah. Now, this is entirely his son's fault because his son tried to attack Bobby from behind. He jumped on his back and Bobby just whoop and puts him in the, what's he call it? Hurt lock. Put him in the hurt lock. He doesn't see who it is. And then MVP gets in the ring. He's like, shit, no, put him down.
There's no way he could have known.
No, there is no way he could have known. And
to be fair, he fully knew.
I get it. I mean, he didn't. He was behind him. He could probably guess, but
yeah.
Fuck, if his kid's attacking you, you're gonna take him out. Fuck it, he's Bobby Lashley. You shouldn't be afraid of Goldberg.
But the thing is, this was always going to be part of the story as well. Yes, because they actually teased on Raw the other week. Goldberg basically saying to them, "If you ever touch my son, I will kill you." And
do you know what? I hope that he just can't, and Bobby kills him instead.
Yeah,
because it'd be such a shit way to end Bobby's title run. Because Bobby deserves better. I do not want to see Goldberg win this in fucking Abu Dhabi.
I agree with that. I agree with Bobby deserves better to end his run. One thing I would say is I am starting to get bored of Bobby as champion now.
Yeah, it's because he's being given shit opponents.
Yeah.
Who wants to see him fight Goldberg?
I mean,
10 years ago.
I mean, it's a weird thing. It's a weird thing because we all, like, every single wrestling fan does this, right? Where they shit on Goldberg, but then every single match he has, aside from the weird Undertaker match that nearly killed Undertaker, every match he has, people still go, "Oh yeah, I did enjoy that actually." Like every single fan does that.
The more I look back on it, the less I enjoyed it.
Interesting.
I think in the moment it was fine.
Yeah.
But like I said, Goldberg's last match should have been that squash against Lesnar.
Oh yeah. We've said that a few times. Yeah.
Because in his promo before, he said, "You're last." He clearly fucking wasn't, you lying bastard. I do not want to see But I mean, I'm not going to see it because I'm not going to watch the Abu Dhabi show. I'm not that. I'm not that interested. But he's going to win it in Abu Dhabi, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
That's when it's going to be. He's going to win it in Abu Dhabi. He's going to go away for a bit. He's going to win it, and then Big E will take the title.
And then Big E's going to take the title.
What should happen is Big E faces Bobby Lashley at the. Maybe Big E wins the Royal Rumble. That would be cool because he'll still have.
See, I get what you were saying,
not gonna happen.
But there is a part of me where I kind of go, we know that this is Big E's dream match. Like he said it himself.
Sure,
let him have it if he can.
No. His dream match is against Goldberg.
Yeah,
this isn't Goldberg anymore. It's
is
an
it
old
not?
guy.
He still does the Goldberg thing.
No, it's not because he can't go anymore. He can go for like 5 minutes, and
yeah,
that's not a match.
But that is when Goldberg's always been his best.
Yeah. 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago. Now, why is Goldberg going to walk into WrestleMania as the champion?
That's true, but then nobody says it's going to be WrestleMania, right?
I mean, what's the point in dropping the title to him if it's not going to be WrestleMania?
Oh,
it'll be WrestleMania.
No, I don't think so.
It will be.
I think he'll win the belt, and I honestly think he will drop it at Survivor Series. I think that's what will happen.
This is after Survivor Series, though.
No, it's not. The Saudi show is in October.
When Survivor Series?
November. I think he'll drop it almost immediately. I think it will.
No, he won't. No, he won't.
Why?
Because he's contracted 2 matches a year. He's got 2 matches left. That last match. He's literally got 2 matches left on his contract.
Do we know that for sure, though?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So his contract, he's got 2 matches left.
Yeah.
His last match will be at either Rumble or Mania. Probably Mania. And I don't want to see it. I don't. I would much rather.
I feel like it won't be Mania, personally.
I hope not. I honestly hope it's Bobby Lashley versus Big E because that would be a fucking match.
This is what I was going to say. What I feel like will happen personally is that Goldberg will win. And I think before Mania, Big E actually gets the title from Goldberg. And I think Big E goes into Mania as the champion against Lashley. That's what I think will happen.
If Lashley loses, he's not getting it back.
No, but I think he will have that match against Big E.
I'm not sure he will. I think the only way he has that match with Big E is if he's champion going in, and he should be.
Interesting.
He should be. Goldberg shouldn't be champion.
No, but I'm also, I'm torn on it because I do agree with you, but then there is that part of me that goes, at the end of the day, Goldberg is still good enough if used in the right way.
Disagree. Hard disagree.
He's
not good enough.
Like, you literally said that yourself yesterday, that when he's used in the right way, he is good enough.
Yeah, when he's used in the right way, and that right way is not a title picture match.
No, but does the title really make that much difference?
If you're trying to put the title on him, yeah. You do not put the title on Goldberg.
Yeah.
Absolutely don't. The last couple of times you put the title on him, it's completely fucking ruined the person who took it off. Look at Kevin Owens.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Completely ruined Kevin Owens. Completely ruined The Fiend.
Yeah,
now
I get that.
Completely ruined Bobby Lashley after we've just got him good again. We don't want to ruin Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley's great.
I feel like Lashley will always be fine because Vince likes him.
He clearly fucking wouldn't because he's been shit. He was used horrifically.
But what I mean is he will always be up there because Vince likes him.
Well, no, he's only just got up there.
Not really, though. Like, when you actually think back to it, when he was in WWE
he was stuck in the mid card.
Still up there.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah, he was.
When?
If you go back to when Lashley was in WWE last,
he didn't win anything. He won the
No,
ECW
he might
title.
not have won it, but he was still up there. You don't need to win it to be up there. Huh?
They didn't push him up there because they didn't believe in him. That's why
he fought Cena quite a few times for the belt.
But
Cena was the biggest champion they've had.
But he was never believable as a winner. He went away.
I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's true.
It is true.
I think people who were watching back in the day, there were several times
I watched it back in the day
where they thought Lashley was going to win.
I watched it and I never thought he was going to win.
Wow.
He was never positioned in that way. Now, It's taken 20 years. He's now in his 40s. He's the oldest first-time WWE champion in history.
Yeah.
And now he feels like a boss.
Yeah,
he finally feels like that, but he feels that he's not quite Roman Reigns level, but he feels like a final boss.
But I don't know, like that's just, I guess that's the difference between me and you. I don't think you need to feel like that to be the champion.
But he does.
Because
that's what I'm saying. He does. And he's the perfect person on Raw. Like, who else on Raw can have that title?
Yeah, true.
There's no one around there that's been built up. Goldberg doesn't fucking deserve it.
No.
He's not going to be around long enough.
No.
He's
but
not
I
good
just,
enough in the ring.
personally,
He's not compelling.
I personally just don't I never have an issue with putting the belt on somebody else in order to get it to someone else. I've never had an issue with that.
I do, because it's cheap. It cheapens the title.
But do we really actually care about the title anymore? Has anyone really cared about?
I do.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's supposed to be the most prestigious championship in wrestling.
It is, but I don't think anyone actually sees it that way.
Well, they do.
It's meant to be that, but I don't think anyone actually.
No, but it literally is the most prestigious title in wrestling.
Yeah,
it literally is, but it's been treated like shit. If that's what they're going to do, it's just hot shot it to Goldberg, to hot shot it to someone else.
But they've always done that, so why should it be any different?
Be better.
Yeah.
I don't know. Put it like this. What match would you rather see? Would you rather see?
My
Bobby
point
Lashley
is, nobody
Big E?
complained. Nobody complained that much when they used Miz to get it to Lashley. No one complained about that. Really?
Yeah, they fucking did.
Only because they actually thought Miz was going to keep the belt.
No. They complained about it because it was shit.
Yeah, I don't know though. I feel
no. They complained about it because it was shit.
Yeah,
it was fucking terrible, and everybody knew it, and everybody hated it.
Yeah, but
everybody hated the Miz winning it.
I always got the impression the reason people were complaining about the Miz is because they genuinely thought he was going to keep it till Mania.
No, people were complaining
as soon as he lost it. As soon as he lost it, people were like, "Okay, you've used it to get on Lashley." That
people
makes sense.
No, people complained about it because it was shit.
Yeah,
if it was good, people wouldn't have complained about it.
Yeah, but I just
Miz was not believable as a champion because he's been shit for 3 years.
I don't think people. I think the majority of people don't think the way that you do about wrestling, Luke. To be honest, I don't think people really care that much about how believable someone really is as the champion.
So what's the point in having the title? Get rid of them.
Yeah.
If that's the case and people do not give a shit about the titles, get rid of them.
I think they do. I think they do. I just don't think they give a. I don't think they give a shit in the same way that you do. Because But
if that's the case, get rid of them. It doesn't matter then.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
Your top title should be your top title.
Yeah.
You respect that top title. No other company in wrestling world treats their titles as shit as WWE do.
No, of course.
Not a single one. Even Impact. Not even TNA when they were going through their shit Hogan phase.
Yeah.
Their title was still the most important fucking thing.
That's true.
Their champions were still the most important things. You go over to New Japan and ever see if they try doing this shit.
No, I know, but I think the WWE product is something different, right?
Yeah,
but this is what I mean. Like, I would be so interested to see, like, because I don't know what the case is, but I wonder whether the majority of the audience just don't care that much. Like, I think they care who the champion is.
That's the thing. You only care as much as you've been told that you should care, and WWE are not telling you should care.
No, that's true.
They're doing well by having Big E as the next potential winner, Bobby looking like a fucking monster, and Roman Reigns looking like a fucking monster. If you hotshot it to some old guy who's not going to be around, who has got a bum leg, and is just going to hotshot it to someone else, why are we going to care? People are bored of Goldberg.
Yeah, but then you could say that about any wrestler ever. People get bored of wrestlers all the time. It doesn't mean
people aren't bored of Bobby Lashley. People love Bobby Lashley at the moment.
Well, I guess my point is, people being bored of something doesn't mean, and I'm not saying in Goldberg's thing specifically, this is just a wider conversation. it's like the thing about people having to earn it and being believable winners. If that was the case all the time, the Money in the Bank thing would never work, because not everyone who wins the Money in the Bank and then goes on to win the belt is actually
But
a
Money in the
believable
Bank is a
winner
different
at the
thing.
time
Money in the
that they
Bank's
win
not a
the belt.
one-to-one thing.
Why?
Because
you're still making them champion using that.
No. How many times has Money in the Bank been used to have a genuine, straight-up one-on-one match where both people go in as equal?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Not very often.
Twice?
Yeah.
Maybe?
But why? But you're still putting the belt on that person.
Okay.
So if they're not, so do you see what I mean?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Is it really that different?
Well, yeah, it is.
So it's okay to put the belt on them if you do it that way.
But it's a different
but it's
scenario.
Not okay to do it. That
no, but it's a different scenario, because if you go and attack someone behind,
yeah,
it's
you've
way
got an
easier
advantage
to beat them.
over
That's
them.
believable. That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah, okay.
Even though it's shit, it makes sense how Nikki won the title.
Yeah.
Look at Seth Rollins. Look at CM Punk. Look at Edge. They all did the same thing.
Yeah. That's
and
true.
And it catapulted them.
True.
They used it in the right way. Goldberg. No one believes that Goldberg's going to win. People fear that Goldberg is going to win. People don't believe that Goldberg's going to win. People don't want Goldberg to win. The best way to use Goldberg, like I said to you, is a monster killer.
Yeah.
Is you have someone like Braun Strowman who runs through people, and then Goldberg's like, yeah, me next. I'm going to take you out.
Yeah.
Kind of like Cena did with Reigns, the way they angled that, even though they completely fucked the story.
Yeah.
Cena came back because he felt like he was the only one that could fight Reigns.
the wider conversation is interesting because I just don't know if the thing about being a believable champion is true. We've had it many times before where someone isn't really a believable champion, but we then love it. We then love it though. We do love it in the end.
Like who?
Huh?
Like who?
I feel like we've had it. I feel like we've had it before.
The last one was The Miz, and everyone fucking hated it.
They hated it initially, not by the end though.
No. As in this literal last one.
Oh, the literal last one.
And The Miz's actual run as a champion was shit.
Yeah, but people didn't hate it. He wasn't believable, but I don't think people hated it.
People did. People didn't like Miz as champion because he wasn't in the right space to be a champion. People wanted him to be the champion when he was good, and they never pulled the trigger when they fucking should have. They should have given him the title.
Shouldn't only be a champion when the fans want them to be.
It's not necessarily the fans want them to be. It's not necessarily fans want them to be, because you got to remember the people we listen to that are saying this aren't just casual normal fans. They're hardcore fans that understand this like we do.
That's true.
The Miz was not ready to be a champion at the time.
No.
3-4 years later, he was, and he had a good run where he should have been given that chance again.
Yeah.
And they missed it, and they put the title back on him when he was shit again.
Yeah, that's true.
They completely fucking missed a good run of Miz. He was even good as a face for a bit, and he was terrible as a face. Like it is completely baffling.
Yeah, I think Miz is actually a really good case though, right? Because yes, he had a good run where he was more ready to be the top champion, but he still, in my head at least, he never actually had that believable thing of this guy could be the champion. It was always more, okay, he's actually really good now that I'd want him to be.
He was never given the opportunity to be, so we don't know.
Yeah. It's an odd one because
it's like Ric Flair. If you put Ric Flair against Hulk Hogan, you would assume Hulk Hogan's going to win because he's the bigger guy. But Ric Flair's smarter; he cheats to win.
Yeah. It's kind of like Eddie Guerrero back in the day, right?
Or like Daniel Bryan. Like Daniel Bryan's way smaller, and he'd fight bigger guys. He'd absolutely beat the shit.
I think. Don't get me wrong. I'm with you overall because I think the key thing, as we've said quite a few times about wrestling, is if you build these guys up and you build the story in the right way, in a way that it does make sense, it is then okay.
Yeah, you have
because
to make
it
people
is then believable.
Yeah,
but you can do that with literally anybody, regardless of age or.
Can't do it with Jinder Mahal.
Like you, but do you know what I mean? Like to bring it back to
Goldberg,
again,
this is the reason the Nikki Ash stuff isn't working, is because no one believes her.
Yeah, that's true.
No one's buying into the character.
Why do those? So I got a question for you then, as a final question on this kind of topic.
Yeah, we only have one more match to get to.
So why do those weird kind of unlikely winners happen sometimes and people are okay with it? Like a Santino Marella back in the day and things like that.
Well, because at that time, the IC title mean fuck all. Cody Rhodes made it important again a bit after.
Yeah.
Sometimes it works because it's someone who is a surprise to WWE fans.
Yeah.
But wrestling fans know who that person is. Daniel Bryan, CM Punk, people like that. Sometimes it's a surprise because they didn't think they pulled the trigger so quick, like a Brock Lesnar, like a Sheamus. He was only on the main roster for like 6 months and he won, even though he won it.
So do you think that sometimes it's the surprise element that helps?
Paige,
where it's like, if it's a surprise, then it's kind of okay.
Yeah, Paige, but it's a marriage of the two. If it's a surprise that Santino wins the WWE title,
that wouldn't have worked as well, right?
5 minutes.
Yeah.
But then people would be like, "Oh shit, what have we done?"
Yeah.
Even though when he was playing Boris, he could have, because he was a fucking monster. I would love to have seen that character.
Yeah.
Paige is a perfect example.
Yeah.
She came on the main roster and surprised everyone. Her first night won that title, but it was believable because she's actually very, very good. And she started to
but it was only believable to the people that knew. That's my point. That's why I go back to
and the people in the audience knew. That's the point. This is the thing that WWE are missing. They try and just pull these surprises out randomly and it doesn't work. What they used to do was pull them out in front of the smart crowds.
Yeah.
The night after WrestleMania, they don't they don't do anything anymore.
No.
They used to pull this shit out in front of the right people. It's like pulling CM Punk out in front of Chicago. Like you think about it, but they don't think about it anymore.
Well, it's kind of like, it's almost like they have a little bit of ignorance to the fact that fans in general know more these days, right? Like fans do know more. Like the majority of fans are smarter than they used to be about the product. And I think they almost treat fans a bit like, oh, you don't actually know anything that's going on, so we can still do the same things we used to do 20 years ago,
like,
and it will have the same effect.
I've said it before. Everything WWE does right is despite them.
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan had nothing to do with WWE.
No.
Zack Ryder had nothing to do with WWE, and then he punished him. Roman Reigns has nothing to do with WWE. It's always the opposite situation they want. They wanted Daniel Bryan to just go away. They did not want him to main event WrestleMania. Do not believe that bullshit. It is funny when they get to that moment where they're forced to do something, though, right? Because in the Daniel Bryan case, they were kind of forced to do it. They were absolutely forced. The same as Roman Reigns.
But the weird thing is they were forced to do it, and then they decided, oh, okay, this does work, so we will actually treat him like he deserves to be treated.
Yeah.
But I don't get, what I don't get from their perspective, I guess, is why do they do this thing where they go, we don't want this, but then when they realize it works, they change their mind really fucking quick. Because but surely if it's about money, you're doing the little sign that says about money, and it is about money. But if it's about money, surely their brains tell them that doing what the fans want you to do is the way you make the money.
No, because we've heard it so many times before. It's the reason that Rusev didn't get pushed. It's the reason that Daniel Bryan took so long to get pushed. It's the reason CM Punk took so long to get pushed.
Yeah.
Vince and his team, same reason, Moxley said it, they will only push you if they want you to be pushed. If you get over by yourself, they fucking hate you for it.
Yeah.
And you get punished for it.
They kind of choose who they want to be a success.
They want their guys to be the champions. They want their guys to be the top. They want their guys to be the face of the company. But when you get over organically, because you're smart, you know how to play to a crowd, you've got great charisma, you're fantastic in the ring, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
They hate you for it and they punish you for it. That's what happened to Rusev. It's what happened to Daniel Bryan. It's what happened to Zack Ryder.
Do you think part of it is also, because I actually made a comment in our WhatsApp group earlier on about how I wonder whether part of Vince being so out of touch with things is because they make so much of their money now from not directly from the consumer. in the sense of they make a lot of money from TV deals now compared to what they used to. They make a lot of money from sponsorships now compared to what they used to. And I do wonder in my head whether maybe that's kind of what it is, where the decisions they're making now are less about the actual audience and they're more about, let's do what the sponsors want us to do.
Well, it's not, because we've heard a bunch of times that the networks are not happy with WWE.
I know
most
in,
recently
I
with
know
the
in the
NXT
NXT
changes.
case. Yeah, I know in the
No,
NXT
most
case.
recently in the NXT cases, Peacock weren't happy with, or is it Fox? It might be one of them weren't happy with the. It would have been Fox.
Okay, interesting.
Fox weren't happy about having to promote a Peacock thing.
Oh, interesting. Okay, I didn't.
Because they were
that
promoting the pay-per-view, and that pay-per-view is on Peacock. So then Fox,
that's crazy,
a different company, is having to promote a rival company.
Yeah,
like WWE are just pissing off so many people.
Yeah, I mean the company's up for sale, so we'll see what happens there.
We'll see what happens.
Well, they've actually said it themselves now, and I'm sure we'll get into that one day.
And that tells me that they've tried and failed to sell the company.
However, it does sound like a couple of companies are interested. It sounds like a couple of companies are.
But let's get to this final match.
Yeah, because
again, this wasn't a great match, but it was an enjoyable one.
And also, I think this match actually served its purpose quite well, which.
Sure.
Because they had John
Reigns.
Cena battered essentially, right?
Yeah, John Cena did shit in this. He was just going for roll-ups. That's all he could muster. Like Roman Reigns just parred him off.
Yeah,
as he did everyone. It was
and
great.
The smack talk he was given was great.
I mean, Roman Reigns was just being Roman Reigns. Like I said, the one downside to not being in an empty arena anymore is you can't hear as much of Roman Reigns just chatting shit, because he's fantastic at it.
Yeah, for sure.
But no, he just kept parring Cena off. Like he'd try and do one of his 5 moves of doom, and he'd just par it off and just be like,
and Reigns actually was talking about the 5 moves. Yeah, it was great. It was great.
But then, like, he sells so well when Cena does start getting a run going. It did generally look like Cena was going to win.
There was one time specifically that you thought Cena had won, right? You thought,
yeah, he hit
he hit
a couple of AAs. He hit an AA on through the announce table, and then he hit AA off of the middle rope.
And
Reigns
you actually thought for a second he was gonna win.
Reigns kicked out at the absolute last second. He sold that so well.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, Cena got his ass kicked, and that's why this match was so good. Is because Cena didn't really do anything. He got his ass handed to him.
But that's the thing is, the thing is that almost sounds like a negative on Cena, right? But sometimes that's what it takes for a good match. Sometimes it does just take.
Yeah, but the match wasn't. I wouldn't say the match was good.
No, but
I think it served its purpose.
But a match, if it's serving its purpose and doing it well, surely the match is good, though. Like,
well, no, the match wasn't good, but it served. It got to the point where it needed to. It did what it needed to. It wasn't a good match. It's not a match anyone that's going to go back and watch or rave about.
No, of course, but I don't know. Like, maybe it's just me thinking on a little bit of a deeper level about it. But it's like, to me, not every good match has to be one that is actually good. Like if a match serves its purpose and does it well, like it's kind of like the Miro Fuego del Sol match, right? From Rampage the other week.
Sure.
And that match, if we're being serious, wasn't really a good match, but it was because it served its purpose well. It was done quickly.
So the difference there is that was a good squash match.
Yeah.
It was a good squash match. This was a match that served its purpose, just like the match before it.
Yeah,
not a good match, but it served its purpose. It was good because John Cena got his ass kicked, which is what I enjoyed the most. Which is what I think Roman Reigns should do. I think these people coming back.
However, I feel like he might not do it next time round.
I think he should.
I'm torn so far. I want to see where this person goes.
So, at the end of the match, we had another moment where someone returned after the end of his match. This time,
this one was cool.
It was the one we actually wanted. It was Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar returned. Well, I say Brock Lesnar returned. It's been like 15 years since we've seen this Brock Lesnar, and we've never seen him with a ponytail, which is interesting.
Yeah, because this seems like face Brock Lesnar, right? Face Brock Lesnar. He also looks bigger than he has in quite a while.
Yeah, that's just because he's been away though.
He looks like an actual animal again. Like he genuinely looks. I mean, to be fair,
he always looked like an animal. He just looks more of an animal now because he's been away.
Yeah, for sure. So
he's been able to.
But
I know he's got, like I say, he's got the top. He looks like a Viking.
But I've actually said this to you for months. I am so interested in face Brock Lesnar because we haven't had it in so long.
Yeah.
Because it is something we should have had for a longer period in the past, but obviously he walked away from WWE when he was in his very first run. You know, because he got to the point of essentially being a face and being really popular with people.
Yeah, he was really good again with Angle.
And then, you know, he ended up obviously walking away. We didn't really get face Brock Lesnar for long enough. So I'm quite interested because you actually made the comment of maybe this is Lesnar's final run.
Yeah.
We obviously don't know how long that run's going to be.
I would be surprised if it was.
Yeah.
But it could be.
Yeah. And also the thing about Lesnar is because of his schedule these days, his final run could carry on for 2 years. Do you know what I mean? It's one of those weird things where because he's only around 3 or 4 times a year, he could be around for 2 years.
This for me was the most interesting part of probably the entire pay-per-view.
I agree.
Because other than the Rollins Edge match, because that was the only good match on the show. Both tag team matches were good, but Seth Rollins and Edge was
actually one that you can say was
That's one to go back and is worth watching. Like my brother was like, "Oh, I might watch SummerSlam," and I'm like, "Don't just watch Edge versus Seth Rollins."
Yeah. Although your brother did spoil these moments for you.
He did, but it didn't actually matter in the end because 1, Becky Lynch was fucking awful, and 2, Brock Lesnar didn't return in the way I thought he would, so it's fine.
Yeah,
it's fine. I'm very interested because Brock and Roman are in 2 different places, and I've always said if Brock does come back to face Roman in this form, Roman should flatten him.
Yeah,
Roman should go.
Now I'm not so sure though. Now I'm not so sure because face Lesnar really speaks to me, and I want to see. I want to see before I make a judgment over what should happen.
Yeah, I'm torn because it's not like he's going against Samoa Joe, which I'd watch for an hour, like Paul Heyman said before.
Yeah.
But Roman Reigns is very good, and he's very good at storytelling. I am more interested to see the story they tell.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Paul Heyman is going to be the crown jewel in that story.
For sure, 100%.
It is going to be so interesting to see how it falls, and I fully expect that Paul Heyman's going to betray Brock because Paul Heyman does not go with face.
No, he does not.
Does not work.
No. And also, actually, I think that maybe the reason Lesnar would lose is actually partly because Lesnar as a face can be more interesting without the belt. Do you know what I mean?
Lesnar never needs the belt.
Like, no, he never does anyway. But Lesnar as a heel champion makes a lot of sense because somebody beating him does mean something.
Well,
right?
Final Boss is not someone that is a good guy.
Yeah, precisely.
Generally. And now the Final Boss of WWE is Roman Reigns.
Unless they decide to have the good guy ultimately lose to the bad guy that he beat in the first place. It works that way sometimes.
Yeah, but these Final Boss characters, Kenny Omega, heel. Bobby Lashley, heel. Brock Lesnar, heel. Roman Reigns, heel.
What are circumstances where you think a face champion works?
No, I think face champions work. I'm talking about Final Boss champions.
Yeah, for sure.
Final Boss is always the bad guy because a Final Boss is the bad guy. That's just what it is.
That's
because
true.
He's the one that you beat on that big stage to get that big pop.
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan was a Final Boss for a little bit.
So it's a weird thing. It's a weird thing because for the Lesnar Reigns thing, I am torn because if Lesnar works as a face in the way that I think he will, and if the story is written right, I actually wouldn't be disappointed to see Lesnar as a face champion.
I don't think
because I don't think he wins. I'm just saying I wouldn't be disappointed to see it.
I honestly don't think we're getting this match until like Mania.
Really? You think they'll drag it that long?
Yeah.
Right.
Money.
Interesting.
I've told you.
I mean, yeah, but
again,
they never drag anything that long. They never drag anything that long. The last time they did
with Brock that long.
I feel like they don't though. Like every time Brock comes back, he has a match at every major pay-per-view. So he's probably going to be.
So we've got 3 major pay-per-views between now and including Mania.
Yeah.
SummerSlam's done. So we've got Survivor Series, which barely even counts anymore because it's been terrible for so long.
I mean, it has, but it is still a major pay-per-view.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It barely counts because it's shit now. I would honestly take Survivor Series out and put Money in the Bank in there because it's far more important.
Mm-hmm.
Or do traditional Survivor Series properly. Stop this Raw versus SmackDown shit. No one cares.
Yeah.
Not even the people in the match give a shit.
No.
Rumble.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll throw Great Balls of Fire in for the fun of it.
Do you know what? Maybe Lesnar wins the Rumble as a face.
No.
Maybe
they can't. No. They can't do that again.
Really? Even if he's face this time?
You want 2 part-timers in a row to win the Rumble.
Edge is a different type of part-timer.
No. He's a part-timer. It doesn't matter what kind of part-timer he is. You have to elevate someone.
Well, I think it does. I think it does make a difference.
No, you have to elevate someone this time. It can't be another old guy. You need to elevate someone. It needs to be a Big E. It needs to be a Cesaro. It needs to be a fucking Chad Gable.
I kind of feel like they have nobody left though. Seth Rollins doesn't. Seth Rollins doesn't need the Rumble though. It doesn't actually elevate him to win it because he's already there.
Someone else back in that position, and Seth Rollins is someone that's believable. Cesaro is believable. Big E's believable. Adam Cole would be sick. Keith Lee would be fucking awesome.
Yeah.
There are loads of people that could do it. Kofi. Let Kofi win.
I mean, I'm with you. I'm just saying I would not be surprised if Lesnar wins the Rumble as a face.
I wouldn't be surprised, but they shouldn't do it.
I don't know. I'm never that dismissive because at the end of the day, if Lesnar as a face is interesting, I'll take it.
Yeah, but if he's that interesting, you don't need him to win the Rumble.
That's true.
The Rumble is not. That's not what the Rumble is meant to be. The Rumble is meant to be this exciting thing where you don't actually know who wins. You think
that's
true.
But you
don't quite know.
That's true, but the Rumble is sometimes the mechanism of this guy, whatever he does, just cannot get the match he wants
WWE
to
have fucked up so many of their match types.
Yeah.
Rumble is meant to elevate the next guy.
Yeah.
Did it with Stone Cold, did it with The Rock, did it with Chris
However,
Benoit,
they had
Rey
Stone
Mysterio.
Cold win it 3 times, to be fair.
And he deserved them.
Yeah.
He deserved them.
But I suppose my point is that proves that the Rumble isn't just about elevation. Because people who don't need to win the Rumble have won the Rumble several times, and it still makes sense.
Win the Rumble, but yeah. But would you really want Brock Lesnar of all people to win the Royal Rumble?
I'm not saying it's what I'd want. I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised, and I also Brock Lesnar is in a weird place right now where I don't actually know because we have to see him as a face, right? Like at the end of the day, how
I'd have him in the Rumble, but I would have Keith Lee eliminate him.
Really? Oh, okay. I think things are so up in the air right now with Lesnar specifically because he hasn't been a face in so long.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't know where they're going to go with him. We also don't actually know how often he's going to be around this time.
I mean, I said I was curious to see, but I do not expect that we're going to see him every week.
I don't expect so. I don't expect so. But it's one of those things where it's like, I guess it kind of depends, right?
He's going to be a part-timer. And Roman Reigns should not lose the title to a part-timer.
I don't know if I agree with that. I don't know.
The person that takes the title off of these final bosses, it will mean, like we said, you said it yesterday. Whoever beats Reigns, it means something. Why the fuck would you give that to someone where it doesn't matter? Brock Lesnar doesn't need that. You give that to someone like Big E, to Cesaro, to Adam Cole,
but Big
to
E's,
someone like that.
but
Where it's
Big E, so Big E's going to take. We know Big E's going to take Lashley though. We know that that's the belt he's going to take. Yeah. There's no way. There's no way Big E takes Reigns.
Why?
Just isn't going to happen.
Yeah, but why?
It just isn't, because they're not. I don't know. That's
why?
not what they do.
What do you mean? That's not what they do.
It's not what they do. They're going to put him.
But what do you mean? That's not what they do. Big E has been the favorite to win the Rumble, to win Money in the Bank, stuff like that.
Yeah. But
he's probably the most legitimate guy to take on Roman Reigns.
Yeah, but
they've already teased it as well.
It will be.
Sure, but they've already teased it as well.
Yeah, but we know that it will be Lashley.
Do we?
Like, we do know that.
No, we don't know that.
Because
you're speculating that it is, but you don't know that.
Well, I say that, but we have heard information. We've heard that they want him back on Raw.
We also heard that Sasha Banks was going to turn up to SummerSlam.
But no, we also heard that she wasn't, though. Let's be real.
No, we heard that it sounds like it was going to be off. There was no confirmation.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I just think everything points to Big E being the one to take the belt from Lashley in some way or form.
Nothing has pointed to that. Speculation has. They've speculated that. The hints they've put in like him going face to face with Paul Heyman, that's a hint towards Roman Reigns.
Yeah, but
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying that it's not going to go.
But that's what makes the other way more surprising, right? In a sense of, like, if you hint one and then he does the other,
that's going to happen. It would just be a surprise.
Yeah, it will happen.
If we know that was going to happen, it wouldn't be a surprise.
No, but I feel like deep down we do know, because how often how often is this speculation when it's about things like this actually off? It's not that often.
But it's just guess. It's not speculation founded on anything. It's a guess. And all this speculation, they don't actually know. They're fantasy booking. Their fantasy booking.
I don't
because
know.
New Day's over there.
What I heard was there was actually information that suggested they want him on Raw again, and the best way to get him on Raw.
But that's speculation because New Day's on there. That's all that is.
Oh, see, I thought it actually came from. I heard it came from one of the network things, where it was like they chose Big E because they were going to do a shake.
Just going to be like, yeah, no, we don't want Big E.
No,
Fox are going to fight for
but
that.
they were going to do a superstar shakeup at one point, and then they never did. So I do think there are changes in who is where coming.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter. If you're Money in the Bank, you can cash in on anybody.
Yeah, but I still think though,
imagine
if we're being,
that'd be sick.
Yeah, I know that would be cool. Yeah, for me,
I think Roman Reigns makes sense. Otherwise, why split up the New Day? What's the point?
But it's weird because they've split up, but they haven't really split up, right?
Well, they have split up because they're not together.
No, but they're still called the New Day. They're still a faction.
Well, it kind of, but they're not together, so they have split up.
Yeah, it's a weird thing.
They're just still friends.
It's a weird thing. I think
I would put Big E. I would put Big E against either of them.
I would.
If Bobby holds it, I would love to see that match.
I would, but I think it's Bobby. I think it's Bobby. I think there is at the end of the day, there is some sense in it being Bobby. It's not like it would be out of nowhere. It's not like it would.
I mean, there's sense to both sides. One doesn't outweigh the other at the moment.
Yeah.
The only thing that outweighs it is that Big E himself has said that it'll be Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
In that interview, he said, well, Roman's the top guy.
Mm-hmm.
And that Universal title is therefore the top belt. So that would be the logical thing.
That's true.
And they've hinted at it on SmackDown before. But again, that's because he's on SmackDown. I'm sure if he was on Raw, there'd be hints towards
yeah, of course.
the other way. So it could go either way. I don't disagree with you on that. But there's no solid that it's going either way.
But yeah, like going back to the Rumble thing, though, I guess the reason I was saying the thing about Big E is like Big E, as long as he's the Money in the Bank holder, probably isn't going to win the Rumble, right? And if he is someone who is heading over to Raw, that gives you one less contender from SmackDown that could win the Rumble anyway. And over on Raw, I feel like they have enough you know, whether we like Orton or not, they've got Orton, who doesn't need to win a Rumble to be put in that picture if you want him in that
He's
picture.
in the tag team situation.
Yeah,
anyway.
but by the time that comes, we never know what's going to happen. I feel like WWE move really quick sometimes. And they'll
let Randy do what he wants at this point.
And they've got, you know, it's weird because we'll do a Royal Rumble predictions at one point, but obviously just we're kind of on the subject because we're talking about Lesnar as a potential winner. I think the winner will come from SmackDown this time round, because I think if it is like you're saying and they plan to use it to elevate somebody, there's no one on Raw who really needs it, because they have enough people who are in line for that belt or in a position where they could be in line, and it makes sense without needing the Rumble to get there.
Like who? I'm scrolling through to look at the roster because
like I said, you could get.
Sure. I think SmackDown has more.
You could get Randy there quite easy if you wanted to.
Nah,
you could.
I don't think Randy. Yeah, you know you could, but I don't think Randy's going to.
No, I don't think he's going to. But I'm just saying
picture.
He's an option. Drew is an option, whether we like that or not. He is also an option.
AJ. Realistically, AJ. Why is Brock listed as Raw?
I don't know. That's odd.
That's not. Drew maybe. Keith Lee would be cool.
Keith Lee would be one that you could use the Rumble for, though, right? Keith Lee would be the one on Raw that you could use the Rumble for. But in terms of not needing to
properly, Ricochet.
Yeah, but in terms of not needing to use the Rumble, I think that on Raw there's Drew, there's AJ.
SmackDown has got more actual contenders.
Really?
Raw has AJ. We're not going to say Brock because he's not on Raw.
No.
Drew. Keith Lee, maybe Kofi at a stretch. Randy, I guess, but I don't think he's going to be anywhere near it.
No, but I
Sheamus,
guess it's that...
maybe. And that's
Sheamus by that time,
half of them are maybes. Where SmackDown, I'm not even looking at the roster.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, 3 straight away there.
Big E's on that. So here's a question for you though. I agree that Big E is on there, especially because of the Money in the Bank situation. Seth is on there, being a former multi-time champion. You can get him there without the need of the Rumble. Do you not think, in the case of Sami Zayn, Cesaro, and Owens, you would need the Rumble to get them there?
No.
You don't think so?
No, because we've already done it. They are believable title contenders.
Yeah.
And really, if they were really smart, they would have called an audible, and Kevin Owens would have beat Roman Reigns in that last man standing match when he was on the floor for about 5 minutes.
Yeah,
I would have called that personally. If I was running, I would have been like, call it.
Yeah. That's so funny.
Because you have to call it. Referees are trained to call, like, if a decision goes wrong,
if they need to,
you
right?
Call that.
Yeah.
No, they're told, so they're trained to call it as if it's actually happening.
Oh, okay.
So if someone doesn't kick out in time, tough shit, you've just lost the match.
Yeah.
Even if you're meant to win that match, if you don't kick out in time, you've just lost. Tough shit.
Yeah.
Well done, dumbass, sort of thing.
So it's one of those things where
Rules roster is fucking thin.
I get what you're saying, but I feel like to me, the people who can really get there without a Rumble are the ones who are former champions, right? So I think you could do it with Owens. Sami Zayn, I think, would be hard to get into that position without a Rumble. I think you could do it, but the Rumble would make sense for him more.
I think you could do it without. What you just need is someone with common sense right in this shit.
Yeah, that's true.
WWE
but then does that not mean that literally nobody actually needs the Rumble, so it doesn't really matter who wins? because you're
Well,
kind
no,
of
it does matter who wins because it's become a prestigious thing.
yeah. But what I'm saying is, you said the Rumble should be used to elevate people.
Yeah.
But if they don't actually need to use the Rumble to do that, then why should it still why should it only be used that way?
Well, it's not only used that way, but it should be mostly used that way because
Okay,
it's a good tool.
interesting.
It's the same as Money in the Bank. It's the same as what the Intercontinental title used to be.
Yeah.
These were things that tell you this is the next big guy. This is what we're pushing towards. May not happen immediately, but this is where we're going, sort of thing.
I would really like to see Shinsuke get an actual shot. Like,
I don't. I think he's missed his time. I think when he won the Rumble, he should have won at Mania. That was
I agree with you, to be clear.
I want him to continue his legacy and just be the best Intercontinental Champion wrestling has ever seen. He's New Japan's best IC champion.
Yeah, that's true. He's got something with IC titles, right? Yeah.
I want this run to be sick. I want him to prove that he is the best IC title holder in history. Doesn't matter where it is.
But yeah, let's get back to SummerSlam for a minute.
I mean, that was it.
Because Lesnar came out, obviously came down to the ring, and it seemed at first like people didn't care, but they obviously did care because they booed the hell out of Reigns when he got out that ring.
Yeah, it was weird. They didn't really cheer. I think they were probably.
I think they cheered initially when Lesnar came out. There was quite a big
it just
cheer.
wasn't like a sustained thing. It was just kind of like, oh shit, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, no, overall, what I'd say about SummerSlam is it was a, let's be clear, it was a fairly poor pay-per-view, especially for a big pay-per-view.
It was terrible for a big four.
Yeah.
Big five. I count Money in the Bank if they don't.
I would say Big Five. Yeah, I'm with you. I would say Big Five.
It was atrocious for a Big Five.
Yeah, for a Big Five, it was atrocious. I think
more than halfway through, you didn't get good.
Yeah, that it's the fact that it was literally the final 4 matches that were good.
Yeah, the tag team matches were good as well, but
they were just surrounded by so much crap.
They were surrounded by it was awful.
Yeah,
and it's also do you know what? Actually, I've seen.
That's a good point where it shows that. Other forms of media are like this as well. But in wrestling, it shows that sometimes you can have good stuff that people remember as shit if it's surrounded by too much shit. Like nobody's going to remember those tag matches as good, I don't think, because they get lost in that pile of shit.
Again, I think people that think like us won't think like that.
Yeah,
I think like a more casual person might. Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
sure.
That makes sense.
But on the whole, this was weak as fuck.
It was. It really was.
Like Roman's match was saved by the storytelling. If it wasn't for the good storytelling, that would have sucked.
And Lesnar was a bright spot. I'm happy to see Lesnar back.
Yeah, I mean it was cool, but it's also
a wait and see thing, right? Which is
it not even that. It was just like, well, obviously he's back. It was obvious he was coming back. It wasn't that big of a surprise. I think the biggest surprise, they fucked up. They fucked Becky Lynch so hard, and that's the lasting thing of this is how hard they fucked that entire angle.
Yeah,
because that is even with the Alexa Bliss Eva Marie match. I forgot her name because even that. The Becky Lynch angle was worse.
Yeah, I agree.
Because it had the potential to be
it messed up something really big, right?
It had the potential to be the biggest thing they have done in ages, bringing Becky Lynch back.
Yeah.
Fucked it so hard.
For sure.
But we have NXT to look forward to. I haven't watched it yet.
We are going to watch that tonight. We will be reviewing that, and that video will be up probably tomorrow at the time that you're seeing this video. Because this video at time of recording is going out tomorrow, which is Tuesday. So Tuesday the 24th.
Oh, wait, no. The NXT will be going out the same day. Takeover is going out the same day, isn't it?
unless we put maybe you might get 2 videos on,
because we're going
on
to try and record it relatively early so we can try and get it out.
So what you
because
might get,
what we used to do in the olden times when we were doing this, we did Takeover and whatever the pay-per-view was, so it was
together.
WrestleMania, the last one we did together,
but it took so long.
It took, I mean, that's not really an issue. We've been talking for a while, and we do talk for a long time generally when we do these, even after we stop recording.
For sure.
So I don't think that's too much of an issue. We skipped over. We got a new look at the new WWE game.
Oh yeah,
visually it looks cool.
For our
we haven't
gamer
seen
friends.
anything. And it's
coming out in March, which is a weird time.
I think it's clever because all the other sports games come out around that time.
Yeah.
All the other annual games come out around.
And what I would say is, if you are a video game person and you're into the WWE video game, then subscribe to our video game channels, because we have 2 of them between us. Luke has Eat Sleep Game, and you can find him over there. And we are both on the Game for All channel, which you can also subscribe to. And I'm sure that when that game comes, we will have impressions on it, because we should both be playing it. We're both hoping for GM mode of some kind.
I've been itching for it for so long. I keep going back to 2K20 because there's nothing else. Like I bought damn it, I can't remember what it's called, but there's like an indie one as well. Like I've been itching for a wrestling game.
So yeah. Well, let's check us out over there if you're into video games.
Absolutely.
And if you're in for more wrestling content, which there will be more of this week at some point, whether it's later today, we'll be here all the time doing our weekly AEW reviews, our weekly NXT reviews, and reviewing every pay-per-view as they come. And at the very least, the biggest WWE pay-per-views.
Yes. Unless we get really fed up with them and we just like, nah,
for sure. So if you're in for that, please subscribe here. Let us know what you thought of SummerSlam down below, because in our opinion, this was not a great one.
I was going to say, what's your closing thoughts? Because to me, this is the worst pay-per-view they've had in years.
I agree. I said this to you yesterday as you were driving me back home. I genuinely think this is, even if you just think of it in big pay-per-view terms, I think it's one of the worst they've had in years. So when you add in all the small pay-per-views that can sometimes surprise you and be pretty cool, it's so bad.
The irony is that they were trying to make this into a WrestleMania-esque event.
Yeah.
Because of all the pandemic stuff.
But the thing is, it should have been. But they,
Wait, so hold on. Do they think Jinder Mahal?
I know. This is what I mean.
Is WrestleMania worthy?
Like,
oh my God.
Like, yeah, let us know what you thought of SummerSlam, because our thoughts on this are just, it was not great.
It's one of those. It was not a good pay-per-view, but there are some bright spots in the darkness.
Yeah, for sure. And hopefully NXT is much better. We have not yet watched it.
I mean, it's got Walter on it, so it's gonna be
true.
Walter alone makes it better.
So we will be reviewing that. You may, as I said, you may have that video later on today, but subscribe, click the notification bell, all that stuff, and you will see that when it pops up. And we will see you next time. I believe we're doing NXT Power Hour as well this week,
and then we've got AEW again.
Yes, because AEW Power Hour might be moving to Mondays. We're not quite sure yet.
Yes, potentially. It just depends, because there's a lot, because of
lots of pay-per-views
as well.
Yeah,
and it kind of just makes sense, because if
we
put it out on Monday,
on Wednesday,
it's a bit.
Gives people time to actually watch the episode before the next episode of AEW.
It depends how well they do. If they do well on Wednesdays, because Dynamite is coming out
for sure,
Wednesdays,
and also people, if you are someone who's watching these videos, let us know what day would you actually like the videos to come out, because we can try and work to what people want to a certain degree. So, as I've said always, we are still very new at this within this community, and we're trying to figure out the best thing to do. So please stick with us. Give us your comments, your feedback, and we will see you next time. Goodbye.